Welcome to the Dan Casper Show podcast, your chance to catch the full show anytime, anywhere. If you missed it live on the radio, no worries. We've got you covered with all the sports talk, opinions, interviews, and conversations from the show. From the Packers to the Brewers to the biggest stories in sports and around Wisconsin, it's all right here. This is the Dan Casper Show podcast. What up, everybody? Good morning and a happy Tuesday to you all. The DK Show coming to you from the TDS Sports Talk Studios this morning. Thanks for making us a part of your start if you are already up and at it. Whether you are listening on the radio dials, got a couple of those, 105.1 FM, 790 AM, available to stream up online at sportstalk1051.com. You got your smart speakers, smart devices, like your Alexa devices, the app, download it, take it on the go, and, of course, the video stream up and rolling here on YouTube. What do we have on our game plan this morning? It is a Toyson Ford Grind My Gears Tuesday, so what the heck is grinding your gears? Now is the time. Let us know. Hit us up, 715-830-1912 on that Shoe Doctor's bullpen line. You can join in on the Section 105 chat as well. So what the heck is grinding your gears here this morning? We'll talk some Brewers as late night last night, but the Brew Crew falling to the Giants 3-0. Bats were quiet for the Brewers, just 3 hits by the Brew Crew. Sproat picking up the loss. He did go 6 innings, 6-hit ball, but a little. Again, something we've talked quite a bit about when it comes to Brandon Sproat. Little inconsistent, little erratic, but at least giving the ball club 6 innings, and then Stallings coming in to wrap it up with 2 innings of work. So at least, and Sproat's pitch count was getting up there early on in the game too. So, but nonetheless, kind of another up and down type of game for Brandon Sproat. The Brewers will try to get back into the win column tonight with Logan Henderson on the mound. First pitch, again, going to be at 8:45 for the Brew Crew. So we'll recap last night's game and take a look ahead to tonight's game, Game 2, and then keep you posted on some of the latest rumors, rumblings with the MLB trade deadline coming your way now. We could say officially less than a week away. But there's still more thoughts, more insiders, Major League Baseball insiders out there that believe from what they're hearing that the Brewers are going to be aggressive, that the Brewers are going to be buyers. Are you buying into that? Or do you think the Brewers are kind of an easy target, an easy team for opponents to throw out there to maybe draw up the price tag for some potential players? Maybe trying to draw up the price tag of one Dodgers, Cubs, or Phillies, these teams. This is something I was thinking about late last night. With more reports and rumblings and rumors saying that the Brewers are going to be aggressive at the deadline. Part of me, and maybe this is just me trying to just not set myself up for a little bit of disappointment, but part of me is wondering, is that a narrative that is being thrown out there by potential teams? So it gets teams like the Dodgers, the Cubs, the Phillies, teams who have historically or are not afraid to be aggressive by the trade deadline, bigger spenders, to maybe up the ante a little bit for those guys. Because, if you think about it, if it's being thrown out there that, hey, Brewers this year, they're going to be aggressive. Better watch out. You want this guy? Brewers are actually going to be players this year. You're going to have to up the offer. It's an interesting strategy. Again, this is just pure speculation from my point of view. But would it surprise you? It wouldn't surprise me. So I'm really curious to see just how aggressive the Brewers will be by the trade deadline if in fact, they are aggressive at all. It remains to be seen. And a lot of it is going to depend on still how many teams view them, or how many teams are going to stand pat, or how many teams are going to be sellers. Still maybe a little murky in those waters. So we'll talk plenty of baseball here this morning. Speaking of baseball, the Express, good day for them yesterday, picking up both wins against Thunder Bay. So the Express, if it's been a hot minute since they've been at Carson Park, well, it's because it has been a hot minute since they've been back at Carson Park. So it's been, since Rochester last Sunday, not this previous Sunday, but the Sunday before. So yeah, it's been a hot minute. They'll be back at Carson Park for a long stretch of games here starting tonight. So 2 games against Thunder Bay, then a couple games against Rochester. So the Express still looking to wrap up this regular season on a hot note and secure that second half championship. Maybe ride into the postseason with a lot of momentum. So Express, good day yesterday, and it'll be good to see them back at Carson Park tonight. Don't forget, we got a tailgate Thursday coming your way this Thursday for Thursday's game against Rochester. We'll throw in a little football as we are just a day away from our first Packers training camp practice. Yesterday was shareholders meeting. Also, some players getting put on the PUP list. That includes players like Tucker Kraft, which is no surprise. Luke Musgrave on there. So, I mean, tight end's already thin for Green Bay. Aaron Banks was put on there. Javon Hargrave was put on there. Now, these could be short-term. We've seen this before. Maybe it's just a day. Maybe it's just 2. It sounds like, initially when the list came out, it's like, hey, where's Micah Parsons? But he's expected to be put on the list today. So, but... yeah, the whole Aaron Banks one, not a great start. Now, again, don't want to overreact. It could be a very short-term one, but still, come on, man. Just come on, man. What are we doing here? What are we doing? Long season, we're a month and a half yet till September when the season gets going here. So, but we'll throw a little football chat in here as we get set for training camp, first practice tomorrow. It was shareholders meeting yesterday, so we'll go through maybe some of the comments from Ed Policy and all that fun jazz. So we got RJ Cardinal joining us in the 8 o'clock hour. We got Big Ten Media Days, and we've got some Badger stuff to catch up on. So RJ will join us in the 8 o'clock hour to hash all of that out. So got that on the docket and whatever the heck else you want to talk about here this morning, all right? I want you all to join in on the conversation. So got a question, got a topic idea, got a thoughts, grind my gears, send them on over, all right? Send them on over. So that's your game plan. Let's take our first break, and then we'll get things rocking and rolling here with the leadoff. We'll talk some Brewers, recapping last night's loss. It was, if you stayed up for the game, not a lot of action, at least from the Brewers' offensive side of things. Brandon Sproat, a little inconsistent. Does the inconsistency from maybe Brandon Sproat or maybe a little bit of a Shane Rowan increase the urge, increase the need for the Brew Crew to go out there and maybe acquire another starter before the deadline? And then we'll get you up to date on some of the latest rumors and rumblings surrounding the Brewers as the trade deadline now officially less than a week away. So lots to get to. Let's pitter-patter. Let's get at her. We'll take our first break. And then the leadoff coming up after these quick words. Hey, if you don't have lunch plans or maybe you forgot your lunch at work, head on over to Hy-Vee in Eau Claire because today only, starting at 11 a.m., today only, starting at 11 a.m., Hy-Vee in Eau Claire. Get this. They're celebrating America's 250th by giving away 250 free tenderloin pork sandwiches. How about that? Free tenderloin sandwiches from 11 a.m. in-store only while supplies last. If you haven't had one of those are not too shabby. I've had quite my share, definitely, over the last few years. But you got nothing planned for lunch, or maybe you forgot it. Hey, go grab yourself a free tenderloin sandwich from Hy-Vee. 250 of them while supplies last. And if you haven't checked out the latest and greatest deals going on this week at Hy-Vee in Eau Claire, I mean, we're talking about buy 5, get 5 free Gatorade sports drinks. You got ball tournaments, ball practice, or games, and you need the kiddos to hydrate. There's a heck of a deal there. You got $3.99 Blue Ribbon Classics ice cream gallon or novelties. $3.99 for a gallon ice cream. Heck yeah, man. So you can, again, check out the entire flyer for this week at Hy-Vee's Facebook page. Just look them up at Hy-Vee in Eau Claire. I mean, we're talking about $2.99 Doritos or 3 for $9 Jack's Pizzas, too. So a lot of great deals, as always. And don't forget, when you shop at Hy-Vee in Eau Claire, got the perks. You can save at the gas pump, too. So it's a 2 for 1. 2 for 1. All right, let's get things going here this morning. Let's open it up on the leadoff, chatting some Brew Crew. Kind of a quiet night last night for the Brew Crew, offensively at least. Just 3 total hits. Just 3 total hits here for the Brewers. And a 3-0 loss. Brandon Sproat's final line in the game: 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 Ks, 1 home run given up. Pitch count: Sproat, 97 pitches. Was up there in the first couple innings and maybe was looking to shape up to be a shorter start for Brandon Sproat, but was able to give the crew 6 innings, and then Stallings comes in for the last 2 to not have to use the bullpen last night and give the majority of the guys the night off. But kind of some inconsistency again from Brandon Sproat last night, a little up and down. And before the game last night, Pat Murphy kind of called Sproat a, quote, young thoroughbred. He's got the talent. We've seen him, right? He's got the talent. He's got the ability. Maybe it's just experience yet. Needs a little bit more seasoning. And I don't want to use the word erratic. I think that's a little too dramatic, but it's not all quite clicking. And I kind of chalk that up again just to experience, to his youth. Because there's still plenty of ability there, flashes there, right? He's showcased that in many of his starts this year. And Pat Murphy, after the game, said there's positives in there. What he did, giving us 6 innings, but again, he didn't hold runners great. That hurt us a little bit. Or it could have hurt us, and then the homer, but to give us 6 innings and keep us close in the game, there's positives in there. Sproat, when he said, when Murphy was talking about holding runners there, Sproat did pick up a league-leading 5th and 6th pickoffs, but he also allowed 3 stolen bases, marking Milwaukee's first game this season allowing more than 2 stolen bases. So, Sproat after the game saying, if I had to change one thing, it'd really just to be cut down on the walks. Other than that, I thought it was a solid outing. I was able to finish 6. It's been a while to really help the bullpen out. It feels good to be able to do that. Pat Murphy saying it might take some time for Sproat to fully harness his abilities on the mound and be the pitcher that the team believes he can be. Said he's got to be ahead in the count. It sounds so easy to do, but he knows that's what he needs to do. When he's ahead in the count, he's much more effective. He's just not consistent with his pitches. There's ball 1, ball 2, ball 3. You saw it tonight. I don't know how many times, but you saw it 3 or 4 times. And this is where I kind of throw out the question, okay, Sproat, a little up and down, maybe a little inconsistent. The talent is there, but does this make it maybe a little bit more important for the Brewers to maybe address that starting pitcher by the trade deadline. Because I'll throw out the question, can you go into the postseason with Brandon Sproat a part of your rotation and feel good about it and feel confident about it? He might give you that great outing. We've seen it a couple times this year. Or it might be, and it's not like, I don't want to put all the blame on him last night, and that's not what I want to try to do here, because the offense, I mean, you only get 3 hits and you give him 0 run support. Come on now. So the loss is not squarely on Brandon Sproat, and I don't want to try to come off that way. He was not the reason. He was not the main reason why the Brewers lost last night. But it was just another example last night from Sproat where you could see the little bit of the ups and downs and the inconsistencies and racking up the pitch counts and walks and allowing those stolen bases. So, I mean, there's stuff to clean up. There's positives there, like they said, but there is definitely stuff to clean up. It's just the question is, would you feel comfortable? Would you feel confident if you got into a postseason game and Brandon Sproat's your starter? That's the question that the Brewers have to ask themselves. The talent is there, but is he going to be better utilized similar to how Chad Patrick and Mizorowski were utilized last year, maybe coming out of the pen, giving you a couple of innings? So does it make it a little bit more important for the Brewers to maybe target a veteran starting pitcher by the trade deadline next Monday? Because then you go into the postseason maybe with a little bit more experience. And that's not to say to necessarily get a veteran that's going to get you 7 innings. Maybe it's just a veteran and, hey, all right, hey, give us a few innings in the postseason, and then you go to a guy like a Sproat. I mean, this is obviously a guy that could give you some length. Same with Shane Drone. But maybe just to have that versatility, maybe to have that experience. Whether it's, gosh darn it, bringing back a Freddie Peralta. Freddie, yeah, he's not going to give you length, but I'm just throwing Freddie as an example. Say you start a postseason game with Freddie. He goes 4 innings. Okay, then you go Sproat for a couple. Is that the worst idea in the world? So that's the one thing. When I look at this starting staff, it is very inexperienced. There's not a ton of playoff experience. Especially when you look at it now, playoff starting experience. Heck, Aaron Ashby might have more playoff starts on this roster when you think about it. Miz, bullpen. Kyle Harrison, Logan Henderson, Robert Gasser, Brandon Sproat, Shane Drone. Playoff baseball is a little bit of a different animal. Like I've got confidence when the Miz, if it's game 1 in the postseason, he gets a start. But after that, you do have to wonder: does the youth, does the inexperience come into play a little bit? And is that what makes this upcoming trade deadline more important for the Brewers to maybe go out there and get that veteran that can give them a little bit more experience? I think it's worth exploring if I'm Matt Arnold. It's at least worth exploring. It doesn't necessarily mean it's got to be a Tarek Skubal, but maybe just a veteran who has some experience in starting games in the postseason. And it was interesting. I missed this the other day, but apparently, and I'd struggle to see the Brewers actually do this. But apparently there are teams calling the Brewers about Shane Drone, Logan Henderson, and Sproat. Now, if you're, let's say, okay, Skubal. Let's say the Brewers are legitimately interested in Tarek Skubal. Would they be willing to trade one of those 3 younger controllable arms for a rental? I got some depth. There's no question. They've got options. Would they be willing to do that for this year? Would you? Let me throw this back out to you, Brewers fans. let's say, and I don't think it's going to be a 1-for-1, but let's say the package, if the Brewers had a chance to land Skubal, and I know there's stuff out there saying the Dodgers have a very, very, very good package out there. But let's say the Brewers had to throw in either Shane Drone, Logan Henderson, or Brandon Sproat. I'm not going to ask you to pick one of those guys, but say they had to at least include one of those guys amongst other prospects for a rental for Skubal. Would you do it? Knowing, okay, it's just one of those three, we're still good in the depth department. We still got the Miz. We still got Harrison. Quinn Priester hopefully comes back next year. Or do you no, I don't want to give up a controllable arm. What would you do? Let's take a quick break. Preview Game 2 tonight. One of those young controllable arms, Logan Henderson, looking to improve to 4-1 on the season. We'll preview Game 2 of this series coming up after these quick words. We just need one more team for the 10 a.m. tee time for the 6th annual Casper Classic coming up on Friday, August 7th. One more, and then 10 a.m., 1 p.m., sold out. We'll still have 7:30 up. We've already had a record number of 7:30 a.m. tee times purchased this year. So big thanks to all of you who have signed up to get your two-person team in for the upcoming 6th annual Casper Classic, which is next Friday. So if you want that final 10 a.m. tee time, final 10 a.m. spot, you got to head over to our website, sportstalk1051.com, and you'll see the icon, the logo there. Just click on that. Boom. For just $90, it includes your two-person team that has 9 holes, carts, meal, couple beverage tickets, get swag bags, all that good stuff. So hurry up inside. So I would love, by the time we're done here this morning at 10 a.m., to say we are bada bing, bada boom, sold out. Big thanks to Window World, presenting sponsors, Window World, our other partners, Muldoon's, Service Master, Park Ridge Distributing, Hy-Vee and Eau Claire, Edward Jones, Financial Advisor, Kelsey, Nikolai, Dodge, Cambridge, Myron Construction, VFW Post 305, Superior Auto Body, Home Oasis, Residence Branding Company, Claflin Construction, Carpet City Flooring Center, and Economy Furniture. So, yes, Surveyor, you did hear a record for the 7th. So it won't just be you and another one. I think, I have it on my desk, but I think we'll almost have a team per hole. So, yeah, should be a good one. And we'll keep that one opened up for a couple more days. So if you want to get in on the 7:30 Surveyor Sam flights, better get over there too. All right, join in on the fun with Surveyor and Nate. One-time champions, Surveyor and Nate's in the 7:30 flight. I believe Philly fan Dave Surveyor is in the 7:30 flight. So, but looking forward to it already next week, next Friday. Just a note, we won't have a program next Friday because this year I'm going to do my part, and we've had some help setting it up and all that. But since we tee off at 10, program goes to 10, I'm going to do my part and help set up everything and set up some raffle prizes. If you still are interested in donating a raffle prize, because 100% of the proceeds go to help fund Backyard Dreams, please reach out. We definitely would welcome that. Also, since I have a little bit of your attention, I am taking signups for our 715 Fantasy Football League. The thing is that I need to have an idea of how many people are going to participate so I can figure out how many leagues to set up. So if you go to the Sports Talk Facebook page or the Twitter page, we posted up a link on there where you just got to type in your email. And I'm just collecting email addresses so I can figure out how many leagues to get and send you the invites to those leagues. So if you want to join one of our 715 fantasy football leagues this year, go to the Sports Talk Facebook page. You'll see the link up there. or on the Twitter page, or tell you what, if you text just fantasy football to that Shoe Doctors bullpen line, I may not send you the link right away, but I'll send you the link. I'll help you out. Okay? Can do that too. All right, so Brewers, game 2 tonight. We got Logan Henderson on the mound for the Brew Crew. Logan Henderson, so far this year, obviously he's missed a little bit of time with injury, but he's back at her, right? And he's 4-1. Did I say 3-1 earlier? I meant 4-1. 4-1, so he's looking for his 5th win on the season. 4-1 with a 3.05 ERA. His last outing against the Mets, he picked up a win where he went 5 innings, 2 earned runs, 9 strikeouts, no walks. And his 3 games since coming off the injured list. Go back to the 17th against Miami, a no decision, 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts. The 9th against the Cardinals, he picked up another win, 5 1/3, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, just 1 walk. He's looked sharp since coming back off the injured list. So, can he continue to do that? Can he continue to look impressive? Because I think it's fair to say when you look at the starters right now on this Brewers staff, Henderson's probably the 3rd guy. You know, when Kyle Harrison, right now he might be 2, but when Kyle Harrison comes back, and if Kyle Harrison kind of picks up where he left off, or shows what he was doing the first couple months of the season, Harrison's the 2. Obviously, Miz is the 1. But right now, Henderson's probably the 3. And I don't know, and maybe I'm looking at this with some rose-colored glasses here too, or some beer goggles on. But when you think about it, what did we talk about last year with the Dodgers quite a bit when they got to the postseason? Like some of their pitchers, they got back a little bit before the postseason, or like a month or so before the postseason. They're so fresh. They're ready to go. Brewers continue to stack up wins. Harrison is not back yet. Henderson has just pitched 8 games so far this year. Maybe a little bit in their cards too. I hope maybe this is going to work out for the Crew, where some of their pitchers are going to be fairly fresh and healthy when it gets to the postseason. Just saying, just looking at that, just looking at that. So again, could just be straight up rose-colored glasses here. But really, when you take away Logan Henderson's first game this year, which was a 2-inning start against Kansas City on the 4th. And you just look at his 7 games, his last 7 games, take away that short start, his ERA is actually a 2.72. So, I mean, just maybe kind of quietly having a very solid season. Outside that first start, he has gone at least 5 innings in every single game. But that's kind of what you kind of know what you're going to get from Logan Henderson. One time he's gone 6 innings. One time he's gone 5 1/3. Every other time, 5 innings. You want to talk about consistency in terms of that? There you go. He has only given up more than 3 earned runs once so far this season, and that was that July 9th game when he came back from the injured list. So we'll see if he can continue to build upon what he has done so far in the month of July since coming off the injury list. On the flip side, you've got Landon Rope going for the San Francisco Giants. In 20 games that started this year, he is 7-8 with a 3.93 ERA. What has he done lately here? Well, so far in the month of July, he's pitched pretty darn well for the Giants. He is 2-0 in 3 games with a 1.29 ERA, and this is coming off of a very bad June, where in 6 games he's 0-3 with a 7.14 ERA. 2 games in the month of June, he allowed 8 earned runs and 6 earned runs. So far in July, though, just 1 earned run on that July 6th game against Toronto in 8 innings. 7 innings on the 17th against Seattle, no earned runs, and then 2 in his latest game against Kansas City on the 22nd, where he went 6 innings. So he is obviously pitching a whole lot better in the month of July than what he was doing in June. And even in May, he was 0 for 4 with a 4.38 ERA in 5 games started. April, he started off 4-1 and then dropped the next 4. He was on 7 games. He started off 4-1. Then he lost 7. Now he's back up there with a couple more wins to improve to 7-8 on the season. So, I think the biggest question for me for tonight's game is the Brewers offense going to show up? Are they going to be able to put more than 3 hits up on the board and manufacture some runs and give Logan Henderson some run support? Is the offense going to be there? That's the biggest question. I'm fairly confident that Logan Henderson's going to do his thing. Biggest question for me, or the biggest concern for me heading into tonight's game, is going to be the offense. Can they do it? Can they give some run support? Can they get the thing going? Put up a crooked number right away. All right, let's take a quick break. I know we got a few texts to get to here and some messages, so we'll do that as we start to wrap up the first hour. Plus, latest and greatest in the trade rumor world for the Brewers. What's the latest rumblings? What's the latest rumors? Send those on. We'll keep you posted on that too as we wrap up the first hour. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes. If you're from Wisconsin, you know there is something special about this time of year. Days are getting a little bit shorter. The evenings may be starting to cool off, and before you know it, hunting season will be here. That means now is the time to get your gear ready. Whether you need a new firearm, ammunition, optics, or just to come in and get some expert advice, make Tilden Gun your first step. The folks at Tilden Gun aren't just there to sell you equipment. They're hunters too. They know what works. They're happy to answer your questions, and they'll help make sure that you are ready long before opening morning arrives. So don't wait until the last minute. Stop by Tilden Gun, get geared up, and start counting down the days to another great Wisconsin fall. Tilden Gun, helping Wisconsin hunters make the most of every season. Happy hunting, and be safe and enjoy the great outdoors. We got a few minutes left here, so might say, actually, I'll save some of the text for just the top of the hour. But if you go to MLB.com, and they did a little Q&A with Mark Feinsad, and one of the questions was, are the Brewers really going to be aggressive? I've been hearing that, but it doesn't seem to fit their overall strategy. Feinsad said, everything I have heard backs up the idea of the Brewers being aggressive, and frankly, they should be. Milwaukee has been a marvel for a number of years, repeatedly reaching the postseason despite a payroll that doesn't compare to the NL's big spenders. But the Brewers still haven't been able to get over that hump to get to the World Series, so an aggressive deadline could put them in position to finally topple the Dodgers or whoever else gets in their way. President of Baseball Operations Matt Arnold has been working the phones and has checked in on the likes of Skubal and Mason Miller. But players like that need to be made available for him to act. With so few sellers at the moment, the options aren't nearly that exciting. I think we'll see more clarity in action the closer we get to next Monday. But with a deep farm system and the incentive to make moves, I think the Brewers will do whatever they can to bolster their roster by August 3rd. So that's another MLB insider that maybe feels the Brewers will be aggressive. But the tricky thing in this whole ordeal, or the biggest question in this thing, is going to be who is actually sellers. Brewers, let's say the Brewers do want to be buyers, and they are going to be aggressive by the deadline. Great. Or maybe you don't want them to. But for this instance, great. Now, who's actually going to be sellers? Will the Tigers be sellers? Will the Padres be sellers? Will the Nationals be sellers? That's the unknown here. How many sellers are there going to be? With 6 days to the trading deadline, it's still a little murky. But those teams that are hovering on that line, hovering about, are they going to be a wild card team or not? They're going to have to make decisions here. Deadlines spur actions. Do they want to move on from a piece? Do they want to move on from a player and kind of retool, rebuild, whatever R word we're going to use? Or are they going to stand pat and see if they can make a little bit of a run, get into the postseason, get in as a wild card, and see what happens? So if the Brewers are legitimately working the phones and trying to be aggressive, trying to be buyers, they got to find that team or a couple teams that are going to be willing to be sellers at this point. And I don't know how many teams have decided whether they're going to be or not. Because, again, you look at where things stand. Just in the wild card race, in the American League, Twins, 1 game back. Astros, 1.5 back. Seattle, Baltimore, 2. Baltimore's only 2 back now. Detroit's only 4 back. That's losing their last 3 here, too. Toronto's 5 back. National League, Diamonds in Pittsburgh, Arizona and Pittsburgh, they're tied for that final spot. Washington's just a game back. The Cardinals are 1.5 back. The Padres, okay, Mason Miller's getting thrown out there, but they're 1.5 back. Miami's 2 back. And that's after going on a 9-game losing streak. Cincinnati's 4.5 back. A lot of those teams that have desirable players that contending teams like the Brewers would probably want, it's still unknown whether they're going to be made available. So, all right, we'll get to some of your messages coming up just past the top of the hour because we got to wrap up the first hour saying good morning to Morgan. Good morning, Morgan.
How's it going, Casper?
It's going okay.
Okay, we're going to talk about friends. Hot takes with friends. Do you have a best friend?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Can you say names?
I'll throw out Jake.
Jake? That's who I would have guessed. Okay. So Jake's your best friend. We're going to talk about friend hot takes. So for example, friend groups should have an official designated planner. If you look at your friend group, is there somebody that is the go-to for the planning or that usually orchestrates all that kind of stuff?
I'll say, can we go to when college when we were kind of maybe hanging out more?
Yeah. Sure. So, not like old people friends where,
I'll raise my hand because I was that person.
Now, self-appointed because you're a control freak or...
Self-appointed because everybody else is lazy and I don't trust them.
Oh, you make a great friend calling everybody a name and undercutting their abilities in the same sentence.
They know it. That's the thing.
Okay. So then if you are the friend planner, do you get to pick where you go?
Yeah.
Are you the guy that says, no, we're going to meet here? We're going, you get to pick the place?
I'll leave it up for nominations.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Group text, thumbs up or thumbs down?
I hate group texts.
Why?
They're so annoying.
Because you hate everything? Or
Well, no, it's just the randomness of just random topics or stupid stuff, and then it just won't stop, and it's like an avalanche or a snowball. It's like, no.
All right, let's pick at this scab. How many group texts do you have going right now in your life? Because I'm sure you have them for sports.
Two maybe, but one really big one, and it's kind of annoying. So,
do you mute it?
I've snoozed it.
Okay.
Yep.
So now, do you feel like if somebody puts something out in the group text, obligated to answer them?
No.
So you just sit there silent sometimes and creep on them?
I don't creep. I just ignore.
Okay. Fair enough. How about this for friendship dynamics? Borrowing money is worse than lending it.
Yes.
So you would rather lend than borrow money?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll buy a buddy a beer at the bar or something like that, but
yeah. What about a friend who leaves a party without saying goodbye? Is it necessary to say goodbye when you leave?
No.
You're going to do the slip out the door Irish goodbye thing?
I've done that many times, so.
Okay, who do you think right now is the best at being a friend? Because it takes work as you get older to have friends. Who do you think is because I have one person in my life who is really like the shower-upper will come to everything. And everyone knows, like at a certain age, if you get a message, say, for example, in a group text that something's canceled, there's a little bit of you that's like, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love when plans get canceled, right? Nobody wants to admit it, but like there's a secret relief sometimes.
Yep.
But not this. No, this girl, she will like show up to things that are even adjacent to the main topic. Like she's always at stuff. Do you have somebody that's a shower-upper?
I don't think I do, to be honest with you.
Do you think it's an age thing? Because
I think it's very much an age thing.
Would you be a shower-upper if you had more free time?
Probably.
Would you?
Probably. I'd try to find excuses to get out of it.
Yeah, that seems more accurate. Okay, what about this? You can see a friend once a year and still call them a good friend.
Yeah.
Do you think it's because social media and contact makes you feel